So, I realized that it is possible that people I don't know will be watching this video. If you are someone who I don't know, hi. This is actually the third or fourth, or God only knows, video I've done this evening. But I want this to serve as my introduction to this particular channel, which is Robin on the Run or some stupid bullshit like that, because I am a not yet convicted felon for possession of methamphetamines that I was not in possession of. And had I been, sorry, my glasses are all messed up. Had I been, I would have gladly accepted responsibility for the drugs, whether they found them or not, because there have been times I've gotten pulled over and gotten away with it. But if they find them, or I remember the police asked me a direct question one day, which I guess means I'm going to need to turn off the dialogue on these, because if somebody asks me and I answer, I cannot lie. I'm the worst liar ever, guys. If you know me, you know I can't lie. Just like how, that's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, I can lie about little things. I can exaggerate a fucking detail. I can tell a good goddamn story sometimes. I used to be able to. I remember telling my mom about this story at 4-H camp. She goes, Robin, I can tell none of that is real. And I was like, bitch, you don't know me. She's like, excuse me? And I'm like, ah! And I ran away. So, right now I am in an undisclosed location, which is a friend's bathroom, and there's a blanket over the shower curtains, so y'all motherfuckers can't figure out where I am. And the reason I'm doing that is that I'm on the run from legal trouble that I'm only in because I got thrown under the bus and called a snitch by a snitch. Yes, Jeremiah, we all see you. We all know exactly why the fuck you released footage. Never seen before footage. I mean, it's like I was expecting a commercial to like play when this guy was telling me that he had seen the footage of me snitching, which was not true, which also I don't think you understand. Sorry, everything is bothering me right now because you bother me. Jeremiah. Because see, here's the thing. I'm trying to be polite to whoever's house this is. So, I'm glad I keep forgetting to say that name. It's a good thing I can't remember her name. Awkward. But she let me borrow this blanket because I did respect her anonymity. I did respect her privacy. And I also respected the fact that she's got a boyfriend and she said no when I tried to fuck her. Jeremiah, you want to tell Dakota about that part that we all just conveniently left out? Because I remembered it today when I was telling my mom the story and she was there. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't know why I told her the whole story when she was standing right there. But yeah, you very conveniently forgot to mention to Dakota that you were trying to get in my pants. I said no. You were embarrassed, so you threw me under the fucking bus with Corby, and who said I sold him 11 grams. And what's funny is when Jason came to the hearing with me, which is funny because I hadn't thought of it, but I saw Jason at your house a couple days before that. I brought Jason. See, sometimes I'm wrong, and I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. But see, damn it. I thought I was supposed to suck it up. It's just like blowing it around. They're watching TV. I heard them talking. I hope they're not upset. It's late. I shouldn't have been doing this late. I'm sorry. They're upset. Anyway, so, I better hurry up. I don't want to wake their son. So, obviously I wasn't really trying to fuck her. That was all an analogy for Jeremiah, who I will call a snitch on Facebook in public as soon as I get outed for being on the run. So let's discuss why I'm on the run, shall we, Jeremiah? Because that's who this one is too. Can I get an ashtray? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll be down in a second. I'm sorry. See, I can't even do it in front of. Oh. I feel like the door closing just suddenly made me silent. And I was about to talk shit. Because she's not a friend. She's whatever. We're okay. So. This is my public announcement. I am on the run. Yes. I am going to very publicly be on the run, unlike some of my friends, because I didn't do the deed. Shocker. You threw me under the bus. You did not have to spend the night in jail. You did not have to spend 35 days in jail for a crime that carries no jail time. Wouldn't you know it? And I'm not going to out you since this will be on Facebook, but we both know how I met you, why I was still hanging out with you, and we both know a lot of details about you that you probably don't want me airing on Facebook. But see, here's the thing. I'm not a little scared bitch like you are. I'm not afraid of telling my dad that I do meth. I am not afraid of telling the cops I do meth. I sat there as an officer asked me if I had a scratch on my arm because it was all red and raised. And I said, no, I don't, actually. That's from when I used to inject methamphetamines directly into my veins via an insulin syringe. Would you like to know how much I used? He said, no, that's sufficient. I said, okay, great. Do you have any more questions? Because I'm not high right now, but the motherfuckers upstairs who are banging around are, and I want them out of my fucking house. Sorry. I'm going to be in trouble with the people who are being very nice and allowing me to stay at their home because I officially decided to say fuck you to my lawyer, the judge, who said, young lady, I would convict you of all charges on this. You are very lucky that he offered you this plea deal. So, because I got in the back seat of a car with two ugly dudes, I'm not saying, but I'm kind of saying. If you saw pictures, you'd understand. Anyway, and I had a boyfriend who, oh, I don't have the picture. I was just thinking, where did I put it? And then I was like, I'm not in my house. Who had a boyfriend who was pretty fucking hot and who adored me. But see, we're not together anymore because of snitches like you who lie about shit, who tell stories, who do everything wrong and then blame the little innocent victim sitting in your backseat because you were probably asked to do so by Officer Pavia in exchange for a yes. And Officer Pavia, if, and I hope you fucking watch this, if you really want to know the truth, a couple of my neighbors said that you were harassing them. A couple of them called you the bald jerk. And one of them, who has PTSD and is terrified of leaving the street, said that you knocked on her door so many times that she doesn't know what to do with herself. And then I just disappeared. And I was her fucking bestie. I was her next door neighbor when my kids were taken from me. Because of the stupid, stupid thing that I did, which is try to kill myself using said drugs. I was devastated. That was when I really lost a lot of weight. And that's what Dakota doesn't tell everybody. I remember he said to somebody, I don't know what happened while I was in jail, but God, yeah, I sat and cried while your friend Frisco had to brush my hair because I wouldn't do it, because I gave up. Like how a dog who loses her entire litter of puppies goes out into the woods to die alone. Frisco And David saved my fucking life on Christmas night because you gave me a fucking panic attack over all of this shit. Because you kept insisting that if you had been here, my kids wouldn't be gone. Well, that doesn't fucking help me, does it? It doesn't fucking help me that now I have drug charges when all I asked you to do was to be my friend. But you wanted more than that. You wanted to be my boyfriend, which I appreciate. You liked me for whatever fucking reason. You're a moron. But when I asked you, I said, this could be amazing. This could be literally like true love for real. And I think I've met my soulmate. Just give me some time. And you wouldn't. So now you're dating a girl who doesn't really make you happy, who's only dating you because I said you should date Dakota if we ever break up. And she said, bitch, I'll date him if I want to. He's not a toy. I didn't steal your toy from you, sweetheart. I found a man who adored me, who I adored, and we met at the wrong time. But really, we met at the exact right time, which is the irony of the whole thing. And we did that knowing what we were getting ourselves into, but not knowing that my family, my friends, and my estranged husband were all assholes and would abandon me. The only time in my life I've ever begged for help, pleaded for it, screamed about it. I mean, I literally I tried to overdose again the other night, but I tried to do it on sleeping pills. I took not an entire bottle. Took a Seroquel, a Boost Par, because those are all I had, some nitroglycerin, and a few other things, which I'm not instructing anyone how to kill themselves. Please don't do that, because it's stupid. But I'm admitting to the fact that I created a deadly little cocktail, wrote my last will, wrote my will, which is, hey, here are the 5 things I own. These go to Olivia, these go to Landon. If you happen to find any clothes or anything that Landon or Olivia want, great. If not, Amanda will probably take the rest, and good night. And I remember getting sleepy, and I was like, oh, I gotta get one more thing. Oh, I gotta get one more thing. Oh, I gotta get it. And I was like getting sleepy, and then I laid down and I was wide awake. I was suddenly, very humbly brought back to my knees again as I lay there sobbing and begging God to please let me die this time. Because I've lost everything that ever mattered to me. And I was about to go to court for a probation violation for being positive on a drug screen when I know that it's not possible because it was fake urine that I had used not that long before that was negative for meth. And somebody said something about vaginal secretions. No, it was a very thick plastic airplane bottle with no secretions. Also, I looked it up on one of my medical sites just to make sure that it couldn't have been a vaginal secretion. And it said that even with negligible amounts of body fluids, it wouldn't be detectable. I mean, there was no actual study done on that specifically. But that's why I know that either someone sabotaged me, which yes, I know exactly who you are, and I know exactly why you would have done it. And I hope you are eating yourself. What? I must be saying something I'm not supposed to be saying. And I hope it's eating you up inside. Because now I am on the run. Because I have the courage to do what you didn't. And that's do exactly what the fuck I said I'm going to do. And in this case, it is not about being on the run for something I did wrong. which is funny. But it's because I did nothing wrong that day. I did nothing wrong on March 28th. Excuse me. I was trying to stop using a drug that I didn't want to use in the first place. And I was using intermittently in super small amounts, just enough to stay positive on a drug screen. And my psychiatrist said, "Why the fuck are you doing this?" And I said, "Because God's telling me that I need to. And I don't know why, but I have faith." And he said, "You're a fucking moron." And I said, "Noted." And that's how I know I'm back. Back in full force. Noted. I'm such a snarky asshole. I fucking love it. But the reason that I can do all of these things, I need to get off of here. The reason I can do all of this is that I have nothing to hide. I have aired my dirty laundry in front of everyone. I have admitted to everything that I have done, and I didn't do this. I was not guilty on those 2 days when I was caught with drugs. And the big joke is, which is funny, because my friend Courtney got arrested for possession of marijuana, and I was like, "You don't smoke weed." And she's like, "I know. It's really unfortunate, but I'll take it because it's a misdemeanor." And I was like, good for you. And I said I would do the same thing. I would much rather, take the fall for that kind of a thing. And she took a fall for the same fucking person I am, actually. That's very funny. Because see, a real man, like Scooter, is in jail and said, "Baby, I'm taking it all. Do not say a goddamn word. Lie if you gotta, but I'm taking the fall, so you don't have to." And he's gonna spend years of his life in prison, God willing. Hopefully not jail. Jesus Christ. My friend's mom is in prison, and she has a flat screen TV and her own room and nice blankets that her son got her. And she has a tablet and a laptop, and she can check her email. She's allowed to get on Facebook every once in a while. And she murdered her husband, which actually the other day I kind of thought about it, and I thought maybe she didn't. But she doesn't remember because she shot her eye out and part of her brain flew out into the... And she can't remember certain parts of her life. I can't either, apparently. Which is funny because I keep thinking about how much I did as the overdose. I almost did this, but I did it. I did it to try to get my heart to stop. I didn't get it to try to, become a vegetable. But I did forget my life and have to relive it. And I still have amnesia at times, which means I'm still dissociated, which I had reassociated at that time. I was back to being me, which I'm me right now in this very moment. But I literally had reverted at one point to being 2 or 3 years old. Then again, 7 or 8, which I was yesterday. Actually part of today too, because I was like, what if it was like a reality show that I was on? So I decided I'm going to make my own reality show. This is it. This is my reality. This is my show. And this is my truth. And it is that I am not guilty of the drug charges that led to my pre-trial officer catching me, which he was right. I was using. And I had used that day, and I dropped the cup into the toilet, and he knew I was full of shit, and he gave me another day. He thought, maybe she's not high right this fucking second, and I was. And I'm sorry. But you just drug tested me the week before, and I thought I was safe. And the guy I was seeing at the time got me 2 bottles of detox stuff, and that's why I tested with toxic dose amounts. So I think that my pretrial officer in his wisdom, then was concerned that I was trying to commit suicide again, and his concerns were unwarranted, but I am grateful that somebody fucking cared enough to do the right thing. And so I care enough to do the right thing for myself. I kept thinking I was fighting like a bigger fight. I kept thinking that I was, taking a stand against something. I'm not. Nobody else really goes to jail and is innocent of all charges anymore. Because that did used to happen to black men all the fucking time. And then it also happened for a while, like the Hispanic population like boomed in certain cities. And it's because of racism. And it's wrong. For me specifically, I'm not fighting this fight for, the little people or for anybody except for, actually, it's for the white women who lose our children to, thankfully mine is my estranged husband, but people like my friend Courtney, who's a good fucking person and who deserves to see her kids, which she lost hers to her ex too, but CPS gave her the motherfucking riot about her drug use. Well, you know what? Why don't we ask Courtney why she's using drugs? Why don't we ask her? Because maybe she would talk about her horrible past and all of the things that she's had to deal with for her whole fucking life. And then we would understand that it's a bigger problem, which is broken families. Why don't we talk about the entitled piece of shit who threw me under the fucking bus and said that the scale, which my dad was even like, why would you be carrying a scale? He's like, I was thinking about this the other day. Why would you be carrying a scale if you had just sold the drugs in from your house, bring it into his car, and just be like carrying it around with you like a little token? And I was like, that's exactly what I thought of today, Dad. And he goes, yeah, God was saying that to me. And I was like, I feel like I need to say it to her. I was like, yeah, because that means that God talks. God speaks to everyone. God spoke to both of us about the same thing so that we could both know that this was God. And to be quite honest with you, God told me today that they're getting louder, so I guess I gotta shut up and get out of here. But God told me today that this is a bigger fight, but it's not for me, it's for someone else. And you're very fucking welcome, sir. Because I'm about to get you exactly what the fuck you want. And I'm not going to tell anybody else who it is because he doesn't even know who he is. And I didn't send him the email I meant to send him today. I need to do that. But here's the thing, is that you can spend all day long fighting the good fight for someone you can't relate to, but unless it's something you feel passionate about, unless it's something that really resonates with you, you aren't fighting a good fight for you or even for altruistic reasons because you have no connection to that fight. You have no need to right this wrong. You just want to. Zay, I think that's what you were trying to say to me about that video with the white woman who was offering a dude a 40 and some Kool-Aid. It was like this porn site. We were sitting there waiting for one of my other friends to show up at the gas station. And he and I were sitting there and he shows it. He's like, this is you, but like, well, this isn't a porn movie. But it kind of is. And I was like, yeah, this is always a porn movie. And he was like, but I mean, that's you. But you're really doing it. You really are. And I don't know what you're doing yet, but I'm proud of you. And I was like, Zay, you never say like more than 2 words to me, but every time your fucking mouth opens, I just want to hug you and cry. And then steal your baby and eat his cheeks because his baby is fucking gorgeous. But he hears me talking when I do talk about black rights. And I'll say, why am I living a black man's life right now? Because see, like, my baby mama done took my kid and I can't see him. My baby mama done accused me of doing drugs and I'm not. My baby, oh, and he is, because it's really my baby dad, yeah. And my baby mama also had my ass arrested, hurting her when I fucking didn't, which in my case, he wasn't brave enough to admit that I was the one who tried to push him down the stairs. Yeah, you're welcome. Having to admit that to my 5-year-old, now 6. He was 6 at the time. Yeah, he was 6. And my 4-year-old. And I had to say, you know what, guys? I need to tell you the truth. Cody didn't push Daddy down the stairs. Mommy tried to push Daddy down the stairs because she wanted him to fall down the little flight of stairs because she felt like someone was going to fall down the stairs and she wanted it to be the little flight, not the big one. And Leon goes, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And I was like, yeah, doesn't it? And he goes, you're not supposed to push Daddy. And I said, no, that was not very nice of me. And Cody and Daddy looked at me and went, Robin! And when they both realized that they had said my name in the same kind of, not possessive, but you know, like, that's my woman kind of way, that's when the fight got really bad. So, there, you have it. You have my whole truth. I am not guilty from that day. I did try to kill myself with drugs. I also tried to kill myself the other day so I could get out of all of this bullshit because I'm tired of it. And God wouldn't let me because I am fighting a good fight. And I'm sticking up for the little girl that I never stick up for, and that's me. So, if you got a fucking problem with it, please give me a call because I need some place to stay because I'm on the run. And, you know, please give me coffee and don't call the cops. But mostly don't call the cops. Please remember that. Please, 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 if you know where I am, do not turn me in because this is not about me getting out of jail. Jail, it ain't that bad. And they feed me. I was 99 pounds yesterday morning when I weighed myself. I've stopped eating again. I've literally given up, guys. I have given up. I wish I could show you. I keep saying I need to get off. You can see my collarbone. Oh, you can't see. Ugh. I can't. Oh, I don't want to show that tile in this bathroom. Anyway. And that's actually one of the other reasons that I don't want to go right now is because the last time I saw Hamlet, he talked about how scared he was to see me that small. And he said I almost died so many times that's why they kept me in intake for 6 days. And he said that when I wouldn't eat, that they contemplated actually taking me to the hospital and having them place a feeding tube. And he cried when I got released. Sorry, Hamlet. But I'm pretty sure that man cried because he suddenly started screaming at me and I was like, what the hell's wrong with him? And he ran to the break room and then Martin was like, I'm doing your release. And I was like, where'd Hamlet go? I wanted Hamlet to do it. And he's like, you're not going to see Hamlet again. You just need to say goodbye in your head and don't talk to me. And I was like, why? I miss him. I love him. And he's like, I know, Robin. And that's why when he said, don't come back here, he meant it. Please don't come back here. Please don't get in trouble. Because this place is not a place for people like you. And that's the thing, guys. One of my friends, and I won't call you out because I don't want anyone to know what a softie you really are, but he changed. He was not the same when he came out this time. And I saw him right when I got out. We sat on my front porch swing and we talked about who was a snitch and who wasn't. And he asked if I wanted to get high and I said no. And then I called him the next day after going to my college reunion and I had to deal with all those bitches that were talking about their fucking whatever jobs that they were doing. And I was just like, they don't know how entitled they are. They don't know anything. And they're looking down on me because I just got out of jail. And I got an education in a year. At that point, it was a year. I got a lifetime worth of education in 1 year that I had never gotten before. And I am grateful. And I am humbled. And I am really fucking sick of white, powerful, entitled men talking down to people like me, talking down to my niggas, talking down to any fucking body. Because you have white privilege and you don't know what it's like to live without that. And I do, because first of all, I lived like a black man for a while. But second of all, I'm never taken as white when it's convenient. Suddenly I'm Mexican. You can't see it right now because I'm not that tan. I actually look tanner in the thing. I was looking in the mirror. Middle Eastern. I've had a family of Middle Eastern, Muslim. I hate saying Middle Eastern because that's such a broad overreaching. I think they were from, Iran. They were from Iran. They were Muslim. And I was very, very, very respectful of their religion, of the man that was in the room with me. And I'm not wearing a hijab. I always say that word wrong, and I'm sorry if I did. And I was very respectful. I remember I was actually wearing one of these because this was what I always wore under my scrubs. And I remember I was like, oh man, they are like real fucking Muslim or Islam, whatever. And, I was supposed to turn off my comments. I'm sorry, I'm not talking. I'm talking in a general sense right now. And I'm almost finished with this video. So I was very respectful of their cultural beliefs because one of my best friends growing up, Okan, is from Turkey and he's Muslim. And when he tried bacon, he was like, fuck this, I'm eating bacon. And I was like, you're going to hell, I'm pretty sure. He's like, yeah, I don't care, I'll, whatever. There's virgins when I get back up to heaven. I was like, okay. So I am humbled and respectful, and I wish that I would be respected for the intellectual person that I am. Randolph-Macon Women's College was ranked on the same par with Harvard the year I got in and the year I graduated. So in that 4-year time frame, I may as well have gone to Harvard, and I went to Oxford for a study abroad program. Okay, I know I didn't go there the whole time, but I took some classes there. And as fate / God / whatever you believe in would have it, I ran into my high school English teacher who, I was going to say like me now, but she was much younger. She was a 23-year-old with a master's teaching at a private school for the highly elite, smart kids who we were the Georgetown prep rejects. And not me, I just got in for free because my mom taught music there. And I was blessed and I was so grateful. And I learned so much just in being one of only 4 Americans in my class, but also from being at a place of higher learning that taught you how the fuck to respect other people. Because even though we were the ones wearing the button downs and the tie, I would wear the tie on Wednesdays and get in trouble. I was always in trouble with the headmaster. He was always like, ma'am, miss, that button. And I'm like, you said we could have the first one undone. And he's always like, that's this one. I was like, that's your necktie one? And see, I don't wear a necktie, so, you said I couldn't wear the necktie. So, yeah, brat. But I know how to work the fucking system. I never have. I've never been a manipulative bitch. I've always known how. I'm not a fucking retard. I am not autistic. I am a fucking good person. And I identify emotionally more like a man because I try to be rational minded all the fucking time so that I don't have to deal with being called psycho bitch, like how Dakota loves to tell everybody I am, or to be considered overly emotional, neurotic, exaggerative, pretentious. Not that. Oh, Lord. We all know me. Steven, I hope you're watching this like, damn it. My date with beauty. Sorry, I just called you out on that one, but no one knows who I'm talking about except you. Also, your fiance is really cute and I love her and I want to give her a hug and be like, I'm his one that got away. Haha. And he'll never know. I mean, she'll never know. But anyway. Y'all, please don't call the cops. Don't be afraid. I'm still the same pretentious bitch that you've always known. But now, instead of showing up for you at 2 a.m. and saving you from a man much bigger than me, which, Holly, thank you for telling me that story. I forgot completely about that. But I am everyone's ride or die. I don't know where all my fucking ride or dies went. She's talking to her husband in there, but she's not really my ride or die. But I am sticking up for myself, finally. So if this does make media circulation or attention, then first of all, Shelly Andrews, I want you to do my interview because I fucking love you. And I just messaged your husband about, I was like, hey, do you think Shelly would talk to me about being on the news channel? Like, just so I could get some information about how to do that. And he was like, yeah, I'm sure she would. And then I just like never followed up with it. So, so I want you to do the interview if you want to. I know you don't work there anymore, but if this does make media attention, I want you to know you can play this whole fucking video if you want. I'm sure you're gonna have to put some bleeps in since I just said fucking, but I have nothing to hide. I'm more than happy to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And I'll tell you that I had drugs in that house, hidden. Actually, hidden so well that the canine unit that went through later that night didn't find them. Or I didn't get charged with them. But you probably threw that out then, didn't you? Or took it home with you. Actually, no, I know that the 2 kids that were living in the basement knew exactly where the fuck they were hidden. And they were like, damn, she did do a good job hiding. I just told them where I was hiding this stuff too. I was like, hey, there's a lot of this kind of stuff hidden in this kind of thing, in this kind of place. So if anything ever happens to me, please, 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 I don't care if you gotta smoke it. I don't care if you gotta eat it. I don't care what the fuck you gotta do. Go plant it in the backyard. I don't care, get it the fuck off my property. And they were like, okay, can we have some? And I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And it's not meth, by the way, guys. My back itches. Anyway. I still feel like I've got so much more to say, but I'm gonna say it. I just I'm gonna have to do it on the run. So, by the way, if you're watching this, I guess this is already after the fact. I do want to say this part. Oh, I'm gonna do that in a different video. Watch the next one because it's so exciting. I'm gonna tell y'all how I hid from the cops while they were like standing right next to me.